All right, hello, boys and girls. So we are on math. We are on lesson 53, one-digit division with a remainder. We are on page 337. So feel free to pause me to write down your title in your math journal today. All right, so we are talking about one-digit division. This time we are having a remainder. Remainder is what is left over. All right, so we can divide 12 objects in equal groups of 4. So here we show 12 dots divided into 3 equal groups of 4. One way you can do this if you're drawing is you can take, so they're telling us there's 4 groups, so I'm going to draw 4 boxes. Then I'm just going to count 12 dots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we can see that in each group there are 3 dots, right? Okay, so now we're going to take the number 13 in equal groups of 4. But because there's 1 dot too many, so now I'm going to add 1 more dot. This little guy, he doesn't have a home. So we call the extra dot the remainder. Okay, so we call the extra dot the remainder. So I'm going to write down what I said, the remainder, what is left over. So when you eat dinner, you have food remaining, right? So the remainder is what is left over. Okay, so we can show 13 divided by 4 like this. So just how we would do 12 divided by 4. It's going to look the same, but it's a little different. We might wonder what to write because it's not exactly 3. It's not 4. So we have to figure out what number can go here. All right. What we do know is that 4 can go into 13 3 times. 4 times would be too many. 3 times is a little less. So what this is saying is that there are 3 groups. Okay, so then I draw a multiplication symbol here. So I take 3 times 4, and I write my 12 right underneath the 13. 13, take away 12, gives me 1, and I have to keep it kind of organized. All right, so 4, there's nothing times 4 that's ever going to give us 1. So because 1 is smaller than 4, that's what we call our remainder. So we would just write R period 1, or you can make it a capital. Remainder 1. Either way is fine. So the amount left over is 1. So 3, remainder 1. I'm going to show you how to check it. Then I'm going to show you some helpful tools to help us with division. So we learned how to check it. We take our 3, we multiply it by our 4, and we get 12. The remainder, all we do is we add it. 12 plus 1 equals 13. So that number should be the same. Okay, so we're going to do another problem. I'm going to explain it a little bit differently. Okay, sorry for that. So we have 16 divided by 3. So this problem tells us divide 16 into the groups of 3. We can use a sketch to help us with the problem. So one way you can do it is to make, so we know there's 3 groups, and we know we have 16 dots. So we're going to put 16 dots in these 3 groups. So I'm on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We got 1 extra. Okay, so to write that like a division problem, you would put 16 divided by 3, so it looked like this. All right, so now I'm going to show you something. I'm going to switch my screen over here, and you may have seen it before, steps to a division. All right, and I'm actually going to add one more step here, and I'll explain what that means. But you're going to have one of these in your packet this week. Okay, so does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Now, I put asterisks Those are the little stars by Raw because not every problem has a remainder. For right now, they do. But when you get older, they do it as fractions and decimals. For now, it's just a number that we write as part of the problem. All right, so does McDonald's sell cheeseburger raw? So this is a helpful way to practice a division problem. Does. First, we divide. And then we multiply, then we subtract, and then we bring down and start over. So I'm going to walk you through what that looks like. Maybe. There you go. Okay. So divide. We're dividing 16 by 3. So I'm going to write, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? And then I put a little star by it raw. So this is what I write sometimes to help me remember the steps. So first I divide. 3 can go into 16 5 times. Okay? Cannot go 6 because that is too many, but 5 is one less. So we divided. So I put a check mark there. Next, we multiply. What we multiply are this number, the quotient, times the divisor. So 5 times 3 is 15. So I multiplied, and now I take that 15 and I put it here, underneath. So then my next step is to subtract. So I take 16 minus 15. And that gives me 1. I have to put my 1 here. Because when we get more division, when we get more digits, we will have to be very, very organized. So we need to start that now. So then we compare. So I compare the 1 and the 3. If the 1 is smaller than the 3, it's my remainder. If the 1 is bigger, then I divide, I do my steps again. If I have to bring down, then I will have to divide it, do this whole process again. In this case, my 1 is smaller. So I'm going to write remainder 1. So I put the remainder here. There's no bringing down in this case. So then I have to check it. Okay, so 5 times 3 is 15. And remember, I just add my remainders. So 16, I should get the same numbers, and I do. Okay, so another way, if you have something at home, you can grab it. So I have 25 base 10 unit cubes here. All right, so what I'm going to do is pretend these are students. There are 25 students in the classroom. The teacher wants to make the groups with 4 students in each group. So we have to figure out how to deal with our remainder. Okay, so I'm going to make groups of 4. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I have one little extra guy. You can't see him. I'll put him up there. Still can't see him. There we go. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 6 groups of 4 and 1 left over. Okay, so we will have to just, in this situation, because it's students in groups, we can't just say, my student is left over. He just has to figure it out. The student gets put in a group. So now I'll have 6 groups of 4, or 5 groups of 4, and 1 group of 5 in this situation, because he has to be put in a group. You can't just leave him by himself. So that's another way to help with division. And you can use any objects like that. All right. So the science club is going to take 20 members to the museum. Sounds fun. Vans in a car will be used to take the members to the museum. Each van can carry 6 members. How many vans can be filled, and how many members will ride in the car? I lost my pen. There it is. Okay, so we know there are 20 members total. All right. And we know that 6 people can go in each van. So now we're going to divide 6 by 20. So I have my list here. I'm going to rewrite it. Oops, got my C. So cheeseburgers raw. Put an asterisk next to the R. Okay, so 6 can go into 20. This is where we have to know our multiplication facts. 3 times. So that's dividing. Okay, and I know 6 times 3 is 18. So that's my multiplication. 3 times 6 is 18. We write it there, and then we subtract. 20 take away 18 gives me 2. I compare. Is 2 less than 6? Yes. So then that would be my remainder. So to check it, 3 times 6 is 18. My remainder, I just add. So the question said, so the question, that's the first part of the question. How many vans can be filled and how many members will ride in cars? So there's 2 answers here. Okay. So it said this is our number of how many vans. So 3 vans will be filled. This number 2, these are people. We can't just leave them out. They have to ride somewhere. 3 vans will be filled, and then 2 members will ride in a car. Okay, so 3 vans will be filled. 2 members will ride in a car. So there we have our answer, our division problem. So you can also use some materials to help you if you need help. And you're like, maybe just not quite sure. Let me make sure I have enough. All right, so I have 20 members, and it says that 6 can go in a van. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so there's my 3 cars, and then these 2 people will ride in a, or my 3 vans, and these 2 people will ride in a car. Okay, that's another way to help you solve those division problems. All right, so we have another one. All right, Lucius needs at least 18 quarts of apple cider to make punch for a school party. Apple cider is sold only in gallons. How many gallons should he buy to make that punch? All right, so we know that 4 quarts equals a gallon, so I'm going to write that down. 4 quarts equals 1 gallon. So that's an important fact for this problem, right? So if we divide 18 by 4, we can find the number of gallons. However, 18 is not a multiple of 4. So we pick a nearby number compatible with 4. Both 16 and 20 are close to 18 and are multiples of 4. Luisus wants to have enough. So we're going to pick 20. We're going to go above a little bit to make sure he has enough. So we're going to take 20 as a number that can go into 4 evenly and divide it by 4. So 4 can go into 20 5 times. And if you want to continue the process like we've been doing, 5 times 4 is 20. 20 minus 20 is 0. So that means there's no remainder. And then we check it. 5 times 4 does equal 20. Right? So this is the number here. So L needs to buy 5 gallons of apple cider to have enough. You'd rather have too much than too little in this situation. Okay. All right, we're going to do one more problem. All right, we're going to do, let's do 17 divided by 3 here. So 17 divided by 3, I'm going to write my multiplication. I'm going to write, does McDonald's sell cheese? Keep leaving out my C. Sell cheese, burgers, raw. So first we divide. 3 can go into 17 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. So we multiplied. Now we subtract. 17 minus 15 is 2. So we compare. Is 3 less than 2? It is. So this is what we call our remainder. We're not bringing anything down yet. That'll be added later. So remember to check it. You take this number, 5 times 3, we get 15. Then we take our remainder and we add. 15 plus 2 is 17. Okay, so there we go. We have our number inside of the division box called our dividend, and we are good to go. All right, have a good day. Bye.